Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are back with a pattern that I came up with. Just kind of was experimenting a bit, and it looked pretty cool. We did it before with the 16 strings, 8 color, single-stranded bracelets, but I wanted to try it with the strings doubled up, and I made it a 12-string bracelet this time. And first off, oh my gosh, I've have been making like the thin ones for what, like a month, more 2 months now, right? Doing the single stranded. I forgot how much I really love doubling up my string. It's just so much easier for me personally. I have heard from other people that they don't enjoy it, that have a harder time picking up the strings. Not me. I really, honestly, I've kind of missed this style of bracelet. Also, it turned out really cool. Now, I kind of was curious if it was going to change up what happened on the edges of it. And kind of not really. It still has like where the single dot happens like twice in a row. The way that they kind of go is still sort of the same. Also, I found that the top half of the bracelet to be more difficult than the bottom half again. So that seems to be kind of universal. I did try some different methods as far as trying to segment knot this. You might notice me changing it up here and there, trying to find the right kind of balance to make it so that way it was just as good as possible. That said, the bracelet still took me an hour and 5 minutes to make, which for this size bracelet, it's a little bit long. It's 5 minutes over the average, but that kind of comes from having to keep looking at the pattern to make sure I wasn't making mistakes. It's really just a non-intuitive pattern, and yeah, there you have it. It's just, you're gonna have to look at the pattern a lot, I suspect. Particularly if you do what I did and you have it change directions in the middle. I suspect if you were to just do this in one direction for the entire length of the bracelet, that might actually be a lot easier. You might actually kind of hit a rhythm and be able to kind of go with it without having too much trouble. Of course, I try to do the symmetrical thing, not only because I love symmetrical, I really do, but it also gives me the chance to experiment and see what the difference is between the top half and the bottom half, like which ones maybe I preferred, which one was easier kind of thing. So yeah, that's what we did. And yeah, the second half is the side that I prefer on this one. Only 6 colors, so I got to use just a regular plain old rainbow. But I did use some pretty bright colors as far as it goes, like for the hot colors, and then really some darker ones for the cold colors. And it really makes the middle of the bracelet pop as far as the brightness, because you come in with the yellow, orange, and red, and then right in the middle of it, it's the cold colors making that eye thing. I really need to do some research to figure out like where that eye thing comes from, so I can like kind of call it by its rightful name. I just know that like there's other arts and crafts that sort of have a similar look where that's a thing. So yeah, I don't know what it's necessarily called, but yeah, it does have that kind of going for it, and it's pretty neat. I started it with the green at the center dot, thinking that that was going to make the green like kind of the least used, and that was wrong. That green gets used quite a bit. The blue and purple seem to be the ones that were used the most, but I did notice when I was setting up that my strings weren't all the same length for whatever reason. Some of them were a bit longer than others. Sometimes that happens, just from the factory. I don't think any of them were less than the 8 meter, the normal length for the floss, but sometimes you get them to be a little bit longer. So it's kind of hard to say. But overall, I do think it did use the strings relatively similarly. With the exception of maybe the red and the orange don't get used as much. But I don't think it would be a problem if you had cut this in quarters. I think it would have been fine. There was plenty left over at the end. Oh, we're past the halfway point. Let me thank my YouTube members for making this possible. Without their assistance, I wouldn't have all the strings to do all that I've been doing. We are over 900 videos and still going strong. I got all kinds of ideas coming up for patterns and stuff that we're going to do going into next year. So it would be awesome if you became a member. It's $4 a month. You get to see the videos early. You get to do hangouts. You get little smiley faces next to your thing in the chat when we're doing the live streams, which is really cool. It kind of sorts out like who's the member and who's not. So that's kind of cool. So here we are. We're going on where it's coming downwards, right? This is where I said it was easier. Part of what makes it easier is I can see that the red did the full larger diamond, and then I can see that it makes the smaller diamond, and I can see that the orange came in, and then the orange has to make the double diamond. It's so much easier to kind of, oh, I know that this is what's happening. I can go forward with it. The other side, it's kind of backwards, and so it's a little harder to kind of predict like what I'm doing. So I really had to follow the other side's pattern a lot closer. This one just sort of kind of comes together a lot easier, at least for me. Yeah, your mileage may vary, to be honest. That's okay. It's a cool looking bracelet. It's a lot of fun to make. I hope you guys give it a try. Unless you're a beginner, I don't want beginners trying it, not because I have something against beginners, but because if you're really new to the craft and you try something that's too hard and it starts out all kind of wonky, you may be discouraged from continuing with the craft. So you need to get like some experience and get some, practice doing various things, and then you can tackle the bigger ones. And my videos will be here for you when you get there, because yeah, it's a whole lot easier to kind of stick to something that you're quite capable of and really get the practice in and kind of get it figured out. So there you go. Yeah, you can see like here, I really changed up my style. I kind of doing a little bit of like the chevrons coming in, just because it was kind of easier to kind of keep track of where I was and what I was doing. But yeah. Yeah, we're getting close to the end now. There's not much more to go. If you have questions, comments, you leave it down below. I will try to get back to you. If you have like a bracelet that you started or that you saw somewhere and you really want the pattern, that probably would be easier over on Discord. There's like a whole, what is it, chapter something, whatever those are, little category for submitting pictures and having me try to figure it out for you. So you can check that out. There? Yes. And the purple comes in. Okay, well, hey, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.